Welcome to another episode of Dirt Floor Garage. I'm Josh. We're back working on the Buick. I'm going to take a break from doing body work per se, and I'm going to focus my efforts on the front aprons here where the fender's attached to. So I've already got, take a peek here, the fender liner removed here on the driver's side. I need to come over here and remove the passenger side, and I want to remove the air box because the air box is broken. I don't know if I want to use the factory airbox or an aftermarket style airbox that takes up less room, but I do know that I do want to put AC and a heater back in this car because I do want to daily drive it. I want creature comforts. So I'm going to pull that out today because that airbox is not going to be used. I might save some of the stuff, test the motor, see if that's all good and whatnot, but that box itself is not going to stay in this car. So I'm going to go grab some tools and we're going to get to work. So I'm going to kind of show you here how easy it is to take this inner structure off on these cars. It'll be real quick here. Got a bolt up here on the top. One down here, I believe. Oh man, that one's spinning. There we go. I'm gonna need a clip on this side. Here. Anybody else really bad at putting tools back where they're supposed to be, but if you organize them, you can't find them? That's me. My toolbox is an absolute disaster, but somehow I know where everything's at. This would be so much faster with the ratchet. That'll be okay. There is another bolt on here as well, but it's not connected, so I might have to find a bolt for that. It's literally 4 bolts. No, can't do it by hand. Feels like there's another one here somewhere. Oh, there's one on top. Got 5 bolts. These bolts you can get by opening the door. I just don't feel like opening the door right now. Oh, got one. There we go. Let's switch hands. Now for this top one. This one's kind of like a stud almost. This is where all your fender adjustment comes from as well. All the holes are elongated. It's literally that simple to take this apart. And I already got a bunch of stuff taken off of it, so. Looks like I'm gonna have to find a new hood cable. That one's starting to fray. So I'm gonna put this down, I'm gonna take off the other one, and I'll get back to you. All right, so I got both inner fender wells pretty much taken out. They're laying on the floor over there in the other bay. Next thing we're gonna do is remove the bolts for the air box. But it looks like here, it's not as straightforward as I thought. So check this out. So it looks like here, you have to remove this upper cowl area here for the drip rail right here. It's got to come off. It's these little, I'm guessing 8mm bolts. So I got the 10mm bolts down here for the airbox, and it looks like 8mm for this drip rail or a cowl. So I'm gonna get that removed and we'll get back to you. Notice something here on the bottom of the airbox. Kind of good thing I'm pulling this out. Look down here. This must be for condensation and whatnot, and it is completely caked. Nothing's coming out of there. So, ugh, yuck. So, looks like there's a drain hole here too. So, this must be where all the junk and stuff comes out of. But it's pretty well clogged. So, good thing I'm pulling this apart. Back to removing the airbox. Alright, so I went ahead and removed that little catch right here that goes up in the cowl here. It was in pretty good shape. The screen wasn't destroyed or anything like that. Didn't have any holes in it, so I'm going to reuse that. I went ahead and removed, there's a giant piece of trim that goes from this pillar here all the way over to the other side that I'm going to have to repair. In the middle, there's a crease, so when I took that thing off, it was super flimsy. It's not very thick metal at all. So I'm going to have to be super gentle on that to try to repair it, because I don't know where I'm going to find another one if another car shares the same trim or not. So I'm going to get to it and get this airbox out of here. This would be so much easier with air tools. But my air tools are so old, I haven't used them, that they're all rusted up. They don't work anymore. It's kind of sad. I would not want to replace this airbox with this in the car, with all the fenders and everything on. That would be a pain. Oh, it's so stinking windy out up here. And the weather's changing so fast. It's only going to be in the 50s, so I'm running out of time to do any paint or body work. So once the weather gets too cold, I'm going to have to switch over to doing probably frame stuff, get that new frame, and then go to working on the engine, getting the engine ready. Maybe doing some welding on the custom turbo setup. So at least I have this frame here for mock-up and stuff. So until I can get the other frame. So many bolts. Go back to my extension. got 4 more to go. Oh boy. Got it. One single wire. Where's that one go? All right. Oh, can't get it from that side. Door shut. Got it. Take this, put it to the side, because we're not reusing it. So I got the air box out here, and you can see here, I went ahead and taped up the opening, because that's a big opening, and I don't want dust and stuff to get in here, ruining my new carpet. So I would take the carpet out, but I don't have anywhere else to store it, and it's probably safest inside the car. So got this all taped up and sealed. So now we're going to head over to where those inner fender structures are at, and we're going to start tearing those apart. I'm going to show you why I'm not reusing them. So we're back over here at the inner structure fender liner, and this is why I'm not reusing them. It's completely rubbed through for whatever reason. So the wheel had a lot of clearance, so I don't know if they had really wide tires on the front of this at one point or something, but I got to replace these. They're just plastic, so I don't know if I'm going to reuse these or not. Might try to find some aftermarket ones, clean up the engine base, because I don't need all these little places where stuff bolted to, because I'm not running the stock system. I don't have all these air line or vacuum lines and solenoids and stuff that mount to in here. So we're going to see what I can come up with. But now I'm going to start taking these apart, and we'll see how long this takes. I'll get back to you. So I got both fender inner structures down to where I want them, but there's one on the an issue with the passenger side that I'm going to address. There's a little bit of corrosion from rust that I'm going to take my grinder to and clean up. The rest of it should clean up really nice with just the sanding. So I'll kind of show you here, right in here. I don't know if it's picking it up, but it's really pitted right here. So my goal is to get that cleaned up, because that's visible when you open the hood. So I'm going to make that as nice as possible. So I'm going to grab my grinder and go to town on it. So I went ahead and ground that area down, and take a look here. You can still see the pitting. It's not nearly as bad. So what I'm going to do is get some rust converter, because I'm not replacing this inner structure. I'm going to get some rust converter, then do some self-etching primer on this, and then once the primer dries, I'll get back to you. So I went ahead and scuffed up both of these inner fenders. I did do a little bit more than I thought I was going to. I had to clean up this area here. It was quite rusty, so I cleaned it up, did some rust converter on it, and then I shot it with some self-etching primer, so that'll help protect it, keep that rust from coming back. This area down here, it's looking really nice. That's where all that rust was before. It's right in here. It had some here I had to go back in and do. So then I went in and did a little bit of a light spray of self-etching on the inside of this fender well here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to shoot it in my jet black paint. It's single stage. Should go really quick. So. So I'm super happy how these inner structures turned out. So next time I think what I'm going to do is get the fenders prepped, do any work that I need to on the driver's side fender because that hasn't been stripped or anything yet. We're going to work on the fender, and then we're going to get it mounted up to these structures and then put back on the car because I want to check the gaps on the doors and the fenders. So see if anything else needs to be adjusted. So thank you for joining me. This is another episode of Dirt Floor Garage. Like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you next time.